Welcome back. I'm here with Mayor Dan Mathieson. We're going to talk about some capital projects. Again, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure, Peter.
One of the exciting ones is I hear about this aerial truck for the fire department. What is it?
Well, the City of Stratford's previous aerial fire truck was purchased in 1992. So as it approached almost 30 years, it had started to get to the end of its useful life for a fire service our size in a community of our population. So it was time to start looking at them. You can imagine when we bought that aerial in 1992, it was probably somewhere around $750,000. To replace a fire truck of that caliber today, it's almost $2 million. We made sure that it had a lot of the pieces that you'd need, a platform so that you could get people in and out of it, foam on the truck so if it ever has to go to the airport to help support an air recovery or an air crash, the ability to elevate up to some of the higher buildings in the downtown core, and just overall the ability of it to meet demands in a community while getting up and down some of our heritage streets and being able to be there. So that capital project, we have a reserve fund that we set aside for fire trucks. But you never have $2 million just sitting in an account. So of course we financed part of it, took some out of the equipment reserve, and that allowed us to continue to monitor our other equipment, which is our day-to-day trucks that are up and down the road with 911 calls, accidents, and others. So it's part of a modern fire service here in the community, but it's about our safety. And an interesting thing to note is the Insurance Bureau of Canada did the ratings of communities on the lower scale of house insurance, and Stratford, because on the fire side, our residents are in the lower third of the province with regard to house insurance. So those types of investments, well, they cost money on the taxes, save money on the property tax.
Nice. Devon Street, the transformer station, what's going on with that and what's the connection with the City of Stratford?
So that's a Hydro One project. Hydro One operates the Devon Street transformer station. A number of years ago when we wanted to expand our industrial base in the City of Stratford, the only way we could do it, because Hydro One didn't want to make an investment, is Festival Hydro, owned by the city, of course, on Wright Boulevard, went out and built our own transformer station. And that was supposed to last us for 15 years. Well, we're 10 years into that project, and we've used that to capacity. Through discussions with Hydro One, it was time for them to renew the Devon Street property, and the transformer station in there will actually almost double the city's hydro capacity for a number of years. And when you integrate that with Festival Hydro's distribution system here in the city and the use of smart switches, which allow us to minimize outages and effects so that when there is a power outage on the north side of the community, automatic switch is shut down so the bare minimum number of homes are affected. The other neat thing about that is the Bruce Nuclear Power Plant serves the power to the Devon Street project, and the Sir Adam Beck generating stations down at Niagara Falls actually power the station on the south side of town. So we're one of the few communities in the province of Ontario that have not only hydroelectric power, but nuclear power feeding the grid within its community.
Right, and I think I remember that's why RBC built their data center here.
That's one of the big investments, yep.
One of the other cool things going on, you see all this equipment, the Queen Street Storm Water Management, or whatever it's named. There's two pieces of that. Can you explain what's going on there? Because that's a big project that's been going on a long time.
Massive project. Back in 2002, July 28th, the City of Stratford got an immense amount of rain. Coming out of that, we had the flooding of about 10 to 15% of the homes. The City of Stratford undertook a stormwater management master plan. The last phase of that master plan was, of course, hooking up the what they call the storm arch that is on Brunswick Street down to the river to give a relief. So that it now in high rain events, instead of all the water flowing through neighborhoods, there is a relief that it can go straight to the river. And because it's stormwater, it's allowed to go straight to the river. And that's what it's doing. But we're down at Queen Street, down at the river, they're actually borrowing those pipes, which are probably about 12 feet in diameter, underground up the hill, all the way down to connect out to there. And the cost to do that was exorbitant, but there was no other way to do it, because in that old traditional neighborhood, you could never get the banks back far enough to get the sewer deep enough to do it. So the only way to do it is to bore it. And that project is the largest, probably, sewer infrastructure project the City of Stratford has undertaken and will probably undertake for the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it's exciting to see the investment the city's making in infrastructure as well as equipment, so thank you. Coming up next, we're going to talk about 2021 in review.